Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Come on, pups! Wow, look at the scenery. Look at the colors. Isn't that pretty cool? Isn't fall just such a pretty time of the year? I mean, it's just so neat. And the change of season. We have the change of season upon us, and think about this. What if the season didn't change? Have you ever talked to yourself with Mother Nature? If you just stop and think about us humans on this earth, just think if Mother Nature hadn't changed. Just to say I walked out and it's this morning, October, late, and all the trees were just green as could be. It's hot as get out. And if people follow me, know that I live up here in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic area, and you'd be like, this makes no sense. You're up in that Northeast area, and your trees are still green, and you're telling us it's like 85 degrees out. What's that all about, right? And I'd be like, I don't know. What's Mother Nature doing to us? Is Mother Nature lying? Yeah. Wouldn't that be something if Mother Nature lied to us? Wow. But you know what? Mother Nature's on the physical plane of this world that we live in, and it just seems to operate on a schedule. Pretty timely schedule, seems like. Even though sometimes I think that it kind of has changed or delayed. The times have changed. But yeah, so what's the conversation this morning? When I woke up this morning, and I was seeing myself last night, what am I going to talk about today? And I talk about this many times, that to bring content to a YouTube channel here we are in the shop. Got to get the dogs in the office. I got to get in the office. I actually got a very busy day. A very, very busy. Extremely busy. I love being busy. And come on, Ginger. And so I got to think to myself, what is going on? I mean, more than ever in our society, it seems like lying. It seems like lying is now just a daily word and a daily routine. So, come on, pups. Let's get upstairs here and get in the office here. Get the work day going, then I gotta get on the road. So, can't make this video too long because I've got an appointment to go to. And if I don't go to it, then the person will think I lied to him, right? Yeah, this is the routine. Look, here it is. Yeah, same thing, right? It's kind of humid up here. So, it's not really warm, but it's humid. So, it's kind of it's a nice day. But all right, get my light on here. The days are a little darker in the morning, but yeah, I got to think of myself. This morning I woke up. I thought to myself, this just popped in my head, and I've told you numerous times. I'm trying to stay away from the media. I'm really trying to stay away from the news, just because. Yeah. Let's talk about lying, right? Wow. Yeah. So that's what I thought about this morning when I woke up. I jumped in the shower, and I just have to think to myself, man, lying. It just seems like now more than ever in our society, lying is a prevalent thing, and it's accepted. I mean, it's beyond believable of what we've witnessed here in just last few years of the rampant lying. And what's really, to me, kind of sad is the social media machine has mastered the people that lie are just, nothing goes against them per se. So there's many people that are in power today more than ever that lie. I mean, they lie. I mean, it's just really, really bad. But these people get away with it. So there's no consequences for them. And you and I, as individuals, on a much smaller level in life, or just you and I, who were borderline just the peons, because I don't have the powers around me to do things that others have, that have the support and the money and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, when you get into a different stature of life and different powers, you better have some people around you to protect you, because the powers of lying. And that's why this morning I'm talking about this, because I think more than ever in our society, the social justice, I mean, there's just words thrown out there in today's, environment. It's, we need social justice. And I think to myself, yeah, but the social justice has come from lying. Yeah. And once again, I tell people all the time, I don't want this to be a political channel. I want nothing to do with it because I don't want to divide us. I want to try to make us all more kind of looking at things to understand better what's going on around us that's creating us to divide us. That's the big challenge today is people are getting pulled in to the social culture and what I think the lying more than ever that divides us because we all know. We all have it happen. I mean, who hasn't been lied to? But you say to yourself, but why do they do that? It's a deceitful purpose. What is going on? What drives the lying? I mean, and every one of us here that's been around, we all have been lied to. But yet today, it seems more than ever that we're having things get accomplished. And remember, I had accomplishments the other day that are being accomplished through lying. And you're starting to say, well, how do you say that? Well, if you look at what's going on right now, we've been told for the last few years that getting electric vehicles and getting green agenda going is going to be better for mankind. But we all know those people that have, I think, common sense are questioning that statement that that the green agenda is going to make Mother Nature better and mankind better. And so for a lot of us, I think that we feel like we're being lied to. We don't feel that they have the facts and or the real truths to prove that that's really going to way things kind of play out. So just in one little scenario of the green agenda, I think a lot of people feel that they're being lied to. But there's a ton of other people that don't feel that. And if you present something to them, then they kind of feel like you're lying to them. And that's where the divisions are very big today in today's society. And political wise, it's huge. It's huge because we saw a change of administration here last election. And it just seems like, could you really decipher the truth versus the lies? And that's what just drove this country really right down the middle of what people sincerely felt were just the truth and what other people felt are the lies. And to me as an individual, I feel like more than ever, the media machines are just lying to us, that you can't trust the information that they're giving to us. And yeah, we all know that the fake news was the statement that came from the former sitting powers to be. That was the running, comment, fake news, fake news, fake news. So, which leads up to lying. But why today more than ever is our society accepting lying to be an acceptable thing? Which it is. I mean, more than ever, we hear so many stories of people that are in power that do things that were done deliberately by lying to accomplish something. And here it's good. And people say, you got an automotive channel, but Jesus Christ, you're getting so off that course. Well, I'm not, because the automotive industry is part of the lying. Does anybody remember the diesel cheat, Volkswagen? Does anybody remember that back 10 years ago, Volkswagen got caught with its pants down, that its diesel cars were all being manipulated for when they get tested for emissions, that the ECM would reprogram the car to look like it was emission compliant. But once you got the car on the road, the car opened up, it was not emission compliant. So Volkswagen got killed over that. So they lied. They lied not only to the EPA and the world governing bodies of the emission standards for their diesel vehicles, but they lied to the consumers that bought them. And then look at Hyundai. Hyundai got killed here years ago. And I can tell you, this is no lie. When I went through my incredible hardships, I bought a Hyundai Tucson. That was back in 2010. I bought a Hyundai Tucson. And that was very challenging just to buy a Hyundai Tucson, because once you go broke, you're labeled for a long time. So I bought a Hyundai Tucson, and I bought this nice little car that I truly thought would be like a 30 mile per gallon vehicle. And nope. Not even close. And here to come to find out a few years ago, Hyundai got caught with their pants down, where they totally misled people on the fuel economy of their vehicles. And I always questioned that for many years. I always thought, man, those Hyundais do not get the fuel mileage that they're telling everybody. So there's a perfect example just in the automotive industry of two examples of where the powers to be, the powers to be that make the decisions. Keep in mind, for the Volkswagen fiasco, the CEO went to prison. Yeah, so he did get caught, and he did pay dearly for those lies. And he was part of a lot of people lying. So a lot of people got slammed over that. So in that scenario, it seems like when I go to the private sector in the world, it seems like the lying individuals get, slammed. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He was called out big time for the Twitter deal. The Twitter deal, he started talking about bots. He started thinking that Twitter doesn't have the actual base of users that they're claiming. So he started to retract from that offer of paying $54 a share. And then the immediate, press is basically that, Elon Musk is lying to the people. He's lying, right? Well, that story's not over yet. So, yeah, did he have to come to the table and tell the truth? Yeah, he did to a degree, I guess, even though 75% of the people being laid off at Twitter, that's they're saying. Is that the truth? I have no idea. But that's what you read in the news, right? And why? Well, when the debt to service is $51 million, it goes to $1 billion. I guess you better start making a lot of cuts somewhere. But how he masters, 2/3 or 3/4 of the people are laid off, I have no idea on that. So anyways, but here's the danger we live in right now more than ever. We have more technology in front of us and at the disposal of our hands more than ever in a lifetime, but yet it's being used for lying to accomplish so many things. And that's why I like to have my morning conversations, is because I like to try to help others step back and think to themselves, so they can hopefully can share with other people that we're living in a society today is being driven by technology, but the technology is lying to us like never seen. Yes. And to give you an example, so this goes political, but this is just examples. I'm not taking one side or another. Just an example. Right now, we're coming up for a change of possible leadership in our country and governing bodies. Okay, it's awful quiet. It's very quiet. I mean, if you kind of look around, it's nothing radical is really going on per se. Now, you go back a few years ago when we had different powers in charge, and does anybody remember the burning of cities? Does anybody remember the social justice, the BLM? Does anybody remember Antifa? Does anybody remember like the prevalent hate in the media machine? And you had a hard time deciphering what the media was telling you, if it was truth or if it was lies. But it's just really interesting that we have different powers in charge right now, and which they're driven by other more powerful people that have money. But it's just really quiet. And I think to myself, if there had been a change of times in the powers to be this country, would right now, when we're coming upon potential change of powers here in the next month, would there be more things going on that would really be revving people up? And would there be a lot more lying in the media going on? Because I think that what's so challenging today more than ever is we all have the division that one part of us feels like we're lied to, and another part of us thinks that they were told the truth. And that's where the arguments prevail, is because we're now in a society where the media machine sees how they can manipulate the information and they can lie and they get away with it and they're not called out. And that's why this morning I woke up and I said to myself, it just seems more than ever today in my lifetime, and I'm older now and I see things differently, and your eyes get wider, even though your vision goes south as you get older, but the way you look at the environment you're in, you just kind of start to step back and kind of understand more than you did when you were younger, and I think when you're young, you're borderline blind to what you're involved in, but that's fine. That's just about growing up. But the point is, I think more than ever today, we are the biggest challenge of our society because the technology machine has mastered lying. They're masters of deception, and it makes us mad at each other, and it makes us come to decisions. Like yesterday, I talked about how do you process information to come to a decision that you feel like was the correct decision, and that's the point. Is that the lying has accomplished a lot of getting people to make decisions just based on lies. I mean, does anybody remember that the last sitting power to be was interrogated for the whole time he was sitting in the office by other individuals making claims that we're now being told were all lies, they were all created, but yet these powers that are still in charge and powers are just, basically they're not. There's nobody really doing anything to call out how really they lied more than ever before, but there's no consequences for them. But yet, as a private person or in the private sector, such as I just give the example of the CEO of the Volkswagen, who's in prison, it seems more than ever the danger is leadership in our country has figured out how to use the media machine to lie for them and get them in power and get them to get things accomplished through incredible lying. And then at the end, nobody really goes after that individual or individuals for what they've created through all the lies. But for you and I, you know as well as I do, if you get caught lying in many aspects, you get law. It's just like in your job. If you're doing things that are deceitful and doing things that aren't abiding by your job requirements, and you're lying about things that you've done and things that have been accomplished, at some point you're terminated from your job. If you're in a marriage and you're lying to your spouse all the time about things, at some point you guys shake hands and you are no longer married. And we've seen it we see it in sports. Look at Pete Rose, the gambler. Look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was gambling. He got, thrown out of basketball in part of his career for lying, for gambling. So you can go down the list look at Tom Brady. They were trying to go after him for the deflate gate, for supposedly having the football be deflated when they had the Colts and Patriots game, a key game for the playoffs. And the claim from the Colts was that the Patriots intentionally deflated the ball so that when they played in the cold weather, Tom Brady could hold the ball better instead of being really being inflated to proper pressure. That was, Tom Brady ended up being suspended for like 4 games. So that was radical. So Tom Brady, in some ways, he got caught lying. Yeah, so lying is huge, more than ever in society. We as individuals feel like we're being lied to when you go to the car dealership. Yeah, you go to a car dealership and you think you're going to have a deal, and what plays out? It didn't play out the deal you thought, so you feel like you're lied to. We're now questioning the real story of the chips. What's really going on with that? One of my subscribers reached out yesterday, a really great subscriber, and he asked for my personal opinion. He's like, what's your thoughts on, what's playing out on this car market? And for me, borderline, I don't know if the car market will ever go back to the way it used to be for the new cars. I mean, think about it. The new car dealers and the manufacturers are making the biggest profits they've ever seen in their lifetime of running dealerships. Why would they go back to the old business model of just flooding the market with new cars that they end up having just to give away? Why would manufacturers continue just to flood the market? But there's a fine line there. You have unions, so if you come to this country, the unions, you're paying these union people whether they work or not. So you're borderline are forced to continue to make cars just because how do you justify union people sitting around all day not building anything? Yeah, so there's a fine line there where these big automotive manufacturers have their hands tied to unions and they got to kind of build product. But at the same time, Ford's on the page of wanting to really cut back on this flooding the dealerships with product. So the thing is, for us as individuals, you borderline feel like, are we being lied to? Are we really in still the chip mode problem? Or is it more really the underlying message is the automotive industry is going to take control of the market, not the consumer, and they're not going to, they're just going to continue to make excuses why they can't get cars. I mean, I don't know. I'm just sharing that on that aspect, do you feel like you're being lied to? And who hasn't bought a vehicle when they get home and they got lied to? So here's a perfect example to me. I just had my selling dealer that had a really nice used 2022 Ram Cummins 3500 diesel truck come in, white, nice truck. Decent price, but not the price I'd pay for it. So I haven't been really into the Ram product now. It's really for the last 4 to 5 years as far as the heavy duty series goes, because I went to the Ford brand. So I asked my sales guy if this truck was a high output diesel, and he's like, he doesn't know. Is it the ASIN, the AISIN, or whatever how you pronounce it, transmission in the truck? And he goes, I don't know. I said, well, look, get the original window sticker and look it up. So he's a Ford guy. He's not a Ram guy, so he doesn't really know. But here's the point. So as I'm driving down the road, I'm mulling, do I go look at this truck to maybe get a nice used Ram 3500, newer one, and just, who knows? I'm always just kind of thinking outside the box. So now I'm asking him, I said, you know what, go to the Ram website and let's see what this truck is what it is. And so I tell him to build this truck. And he's telling me the high output engine's not available. He's telling me this heavy duty transmission isn't available, blah, 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 blah. So then I'm kind of thinking, well, I guess that truck has all the heavy duty stuff, and those options that I know about all went away. So he said, well, you want it? I said, no, I'm not going to pay that price, but tell the GM this is the price I'd pay for it. Well, of course, no, because I was lowballing them to try to see if they let the truck go. And so anyways, when I got back in that day, I pulled up Ram's build sheet, and I went through and I built the truck. And it has a high output option. It has that heavy duty transmission option. Well, that's a 15 grand upgrade in the truck versus the truck I was looking at. It's like a 10 grand upgrade. So there's a 5 grand difference in value. So whoever, that truck sold over the weekend. Whoever bought that truck doesn't realize they didn't buy like the heavy duty special Ram truck. So now they have a truck, unbeknownst to them, it doesn't have the heavy duty transmission. It doesn't have the high output motor. So down the road, the knowledgeable guy like me knows about the Ram, they're not going to pay big money for that truck down the road. Now, if it had all that stuff, then that truck would have more value. Would I have been more intrigued? Maybe. But the whole point is, for me, now I think to myself, did my sales guy intentionally lie to me? And part of me is like, I just don't think he knows how to do it. I don't know. But in one part, he's like, I feel like he got lied to. But he's a great friend of mine, and I don't think he did. But that's what happens. But going back to just where we are in today's society, sadly, the media machine has mastered lying. They're the masters of lying. And more than ever, it's the division of our country because so many people don't see that they're intentionally lying to accomplish things and to put people in power. So, busy day for me. And I just woke up this morning and I thought to myself, more than ever, we live in a society driven by technology and the media machine that accepts lying. It's an acceptable thing now. People that have been caught lying, nothing comes from it. I mean, I'm trying to think here. I think it was John Kerry took out, and this is the political name, John Kerry, trying to think of the Utah senator that is total blank. But years ago, he was running for presidency, and John Kerry point blank lied about him having some relationship with some lady, and he lied about it. He even admitted that on camera. And so, here's an individual that intentionally did things to undermine another potential presidential candidate, and I just can't think of I know the guy's name. But anyways, the whole point is, more than ever today, our governing bodies are allowed to lie to us. And in the end, for the most part, it's just kicked to the curb and swept under the rug, and who cares? Big deal. And so then they master another lie to take you away from their other lying ways to get things done. And I'm not saying, I'm not going to take political sides. All politicians have challenges of lying. Yeah, all of them do. But for us as individuals, we can only hope that we can come together and start to understand common sense seems to work better than nonsense. All right, everybody. Appreciate you watching my video. And yeah, I got to buy a car, right? I got to buy a motorcycle. Oh, I may be driving to Tennessee to pick up an Indian motorcycle to sell. I may have it sold, so it's a whole other adventure. You may see me happening, but wow, I'm slammed. My company and business, I am slammed. Now, I was going to mention that too is, boy, in my business, in my career, if I had challenges of running a company where lying has been a problem, oh, absolutely. And with customers, oh my gosh, beyond believable. And that's what lying does. Lying revs you up, especially when you find out the person that you have a relationship with, whether it be work, friendship, marriage, business related, and they lied to you. Oh, it just revs up, the problems. Yeah, what's that all about in Chicago every weekend? Why is everybody killing each other? Yeah, it's called lying. Oh, I'll have the money for you. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, I'll take care of that. Yeah, it's lying. Lying. What is lying do in today's society? It's ruining it more than ever, and it's being accepted more than ever. When is people going to start waking up and people start talking amongst ourselves and start saying it's not acceptable? Because lying is an underlying reason to accomplish something which is deceitful to others to accomplish it for oneself. All right, everybody, have a great day and be blessed. We need to be blessed every day you get out of bed. Trust me, we need that. We need that power above us. I don't care what anybody says. There's a bigger power to be, and just be thankful that he likes you today, right? So have a great day. Stay safe and stay tuned for more Ice Age TV videos.